I'm Coach Gino from Prospects High. We also have Coach Lee, and then we have guest Taylor Ikinaga. How you doing, Taylor?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good, awesome, awesome. Coach, how you doing?
Yeah, man, I can't complain. It's
Okay.
Labor Day weekend. It's beautiful outside. I got a little bit of time at the beach, so I mean, in the water. We got a little bit of water.
Yes, thank you for the clarification. If we make this public, we do not want you to get cited on a back date.
Right.
Okay.
He admitted
All right.
he was on the beach.
All right. Awesome. Uh, Taylor, did you get out and do anything? Any activities, running or get in the water, do
Well,
anything?
this morning I had a workout at nine o'clock, but then that's pretty
Okay.
much it.
Nice, nice. Workouts are good. Workouts are good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you are staying active and in shape and getting ready to play for Coach Robin. I think last spring ball I saw an interview and those girls were running a lot. So I'm glad you'll be prepared for that. All right, so that's awesome. Today we're going to talk a little story with Taylor, um, about volleyball and kind of how she got to where she was or where she is now. Coach, you want to start off and got anything for Taylor, or ask her a few questions, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, sure, Ted. I think one of the first things we want to do is just like have people get to know you. I don't know. Anybody who watches high school volleyball, I think they probably know who you are. You get a fair amount of coverage at Moana Lua. You guys play some big matches, and your name is in the paper fairly regularly. But for some of the people who maybe don't watch and they stumble upon this podcast, they're from not from Hawaii, and maybe just take a few minutes and tell us about your family, mom, dad, siblings, that type of stuff.
Okay. I have my mom is named Lori and my dad's Chad. So my mom works for HR and my dad's like an aircraft inspector for United. And then my sister Kobe Shade, she she currently goes to UH too, but she started off her freshman year at Oregon, but now she's at UH because of all the pandemic and stuff. And I have two pit bull labs, Malu and Koa.
Nice. How old are the dogs?
They just turned 3 years old.
So they're just coming in, like
Hmm.
they're getting out of the puppy stage now. That's awesome. And then what's so the age difference between you and your sister is what, 2, 3 years?
2 years. She's 2 years older.
Years older. And she play volleyball too, or not?
She played club in high school, but then she just went up for school. So
I see. And she go to Mauna Lua as well?
yes,
Right on. So I already kind of said you went to Mauna Lua High School. How
yeah.
long have you been on the varsity squad over there?
I started my freshman year, and then going into my senior year, and I've been at Mauna Loa since I was at kindergarten. So I've been Mauna Loa all the way to high school.
Oh,
Oh,
nice,
Yeah.
nice. That's
nice. That's
awesome.
awesome.
And sister too? Your sister went the whole time?
She started from first grade. I think she went to like kindergarten at the preschool we used to go to.
Okay.
But yeah, pretty much the same.
And then did you start right away as a freshman or no?
Yes.
You did.
Yeah.
Outside. You're an outside right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right away. I remember it like it was yesterday.
What's that conference like, man?
um, it was kind of challenging in the beginning because like being a freshman and then playing with like a bunch of seniors who had a bunch of experience was kind of intimidating. And like as a freshman as a starter, I thought it would be like a little bit harder to make friends because like people would like look down, I guess, a little bit on me. But I thought it was like a great experience for myself because like I was able to like make be really close and make friends with them like really easily, and like we just made a really good bond together. And I thought it was like a great, like for me, I love being competitive, and I thought it would like being on varsity would be like a great fit for me to start like competitively playing at a high school level.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now was Leah now there when you started?
No, I think she graduated like a couple years
What
before.
about JoJo? Was she there?
No.
No, she must have just graduated
Yeah.
when you came in as a freshman. And then what about Hula?
Yeah. I played with Hula
Yeah, 1 year or 2 years with her?
just 1 year.
1 year.
She was a senior when I was a freshman.
Right on. She's awesome, man. Good
Yeah.
family, good kid. Yeah,
hmm
awesome. How's it playing for Coach Allen? He's done a great job with the program over the years. So
Yeah, it was good. I really like Coach Allen. He's like a fun guy, very serious, but like he gets down to business during like practices and like even during games sometimes he's like makes us run or like do a bunch of kind of stuff, but he's a really like I guess like you can say a logical coach because like sometimes like when you see on the games or like on TV, he doesn't really like talk a lot, but like in the huddles, he's really like active and trying to like push us to be the best.
yeah, that's right on. Is he like more XO? Is he technical? A little combination of both?
Yeah, he's a little bit combination of both. He's, I guess you can say, well, like he practiced with us too, and like he does like a bunch of different drills that wants to make like do complicated drills, like kind of like Koa, like we do a bunch of like different hits combining and stuff. So he likes to do a little bit of that and all kind of other stuff.
Yeah, awesome. Seems like he's really good at the chemistry stuff too. Like
Yeah,
your teams play well together over
yeah.
the years, you know. So yeah, awesome. I always enjoy coaching against him. So I know he's solid, and it's always going to be a great match. So I enjoy playing against him. All right, so tell us about when all this madness started. When did you start
So
volleyball?
I think I started like when I was in first grade. I think like it was just like
Wow.
PAL volleyball where my dad coached and a bunch of little girls just played and just for fun.
Right
And
on.
it involved to the starting club and stuff.
How long did you? Now, first grade. Ooh, man, that's like my daughter's age over here. So that seems
Yeah,
pretty
I get
young,
that.
so like 7 or 8. So
Yeah.
how long did you do the PAL? Like, was that like a 4 or 5 years you did PAL, and then you jumped in the club, or was it sooner than that?
I think it was till like third grade. I kept going PAL, and then I did a little bit of basketball too. So
Mm.
PAL basketball and volleyball, and then yeah, I started club around like third grade.
Was Dad the coach the whole time?
Um, I think I'm pretty sure he was for like a couple of years, but then I had like a different coach. It was a different dad.
Right, right. It's all Dad's coaching or Mom's coaching, parents coaching.
Yeah.
And how was that experience playing with Dad?
That was good. I mean, I liked it because he was my dad, and I didn't like he was my one of my first coaches, so like he put like a pretty good standard for me, I guess.
I'm hoping that I can maintain a good relationship with my daughter if I coach her. Maybe I should call your dad and get some tips so that I navigate the waters well. But, so you started playing club in like third grade, fourth grade-ish, and then where did you play?
I started off at Jammers with Coach Deb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's an OG, man. She's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So like when I first got here in 2003, I mean, I felt like there was probably more clubs, but I felt like there was only a half a dozen clubs, and Coach Deb was definitely pushing teams to play in open back then when we started. You know, not a lot of the clubs at the time were doing that, and she was one of those people that was pushing her teams. So she had really talented teams too, and they always seemed to do well. So in that sense, it was good, man. I like seeing her push athletes to that type of level, you know. So yeah, she's a staple of the community, man. So and then how long did you play at Jammers?
I think it was for about like maybe 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you went to
Maloa.
Maloa.
Yeah.
So, and then did you have the same coach throughout over there, or did you like go through a tiered system where you had a different coach each year?
No, well, for the first two, like 3 beginning years, I stuck with Coach Barney. But then, like, I guess he was like my main head coach, but then like other coaches would like help around too, I guess. But then I moved to Coach Robin later on the last 2 years I was there.
So that was at what, 15, 16 or 16, 17? No, 15, 16s again. Yeah. How was that playing for her?
In the beginning it was kind of scary, but then like she's a really fun coach. Like a lot of like we all love her and stuff, and she like gives us really good information and feedback to help us like build a connection better with the team and like as a player individually.
There's no arguing with her. She did it at the highest level for a super long time, so there ain't no debate. That's it. That's what's up. Yeah, she's a straight shooter too, man. So yeah, I just worked with her very briefly. Coach Tanya worked with us at COA for a little bit, and Coach Robin was coming back on the island. I don't know if she was living here full time or maybe she just got back to the island. And she came into a couple practices, and yeah, I really enjoyed having her in the gym. She has a great presence.
Mm-hmm.
She demands without demanding that you pay attention. Yeah? She has like this this capacity to hold your attention. So you want to listen when she talks.
Yes.
I would agree with that. I think we went to a clinic and I wasn't even participating, but I felt like I was trying to walk on the floor and listen the whole time as she was talking to the players. And then I realized like I better sit back in the stands and be a dad because I don't know if I'm supposed to be here or not. So I think that was a little bit funny. That's cool. So you had a great time at Maloa, huh?
Yeah, it was a really good connection with the girls. Like we went on a lot of trips together. So like each year we kind of went on 2 trips, and like we just built like a bigger and stronger connection between the girls and with the coaches. So it was like really fun for me.
So did you guys have like a nucleus that stayed together?
So for the last year I was at Mauloa, we were supposed to stay together, but then one of our coaches didn't make a team, so that's when like we all split up and stuff. But originally when I started there, so 3 of my best friends, Kate and Alyssa, we stayed together throughout the whole year we were at Mauloa. So yeah.
Now I gotta go and talk about your 16s year just a little bit, because you guys qualified for Open that year with Coach Robin, right? Now, did you have anybody on that team that was like over 5'8"? I felt like it was. Don't get me wrong, I love you, Tay, but I felt like it was Team Menahune. I felt it.
I think maybe Halo was a little bit around that height. Halo and Lala, but then that's pretty much it.
But we're stretching. At 16, Halo, maybe she was 5'10", 5'9", 5'10", maybe?
No, she grew, so she's probably almost 6 feet by now.
Yeah, almost 6 at that time.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and just talk a little bit more about that, because I think that 16's team was very unique in how you approached the qualification. You guys played in a local qualifier here as well, right?
Yeah, so we played in that one, and I believe we won that one, and then we went to Reno where we were playing off, and I think we came in second place, and that was like the first time we ever placed in a mainland tournament and we won something. Like all the years I've been playing volleyball, and it was like a really special moment because especially with that team, it was like a really strong bond we had together, and it like we connected so well off the court or on the court that it was just something very memorable for me.
Yeah, and I think the unique thing about it is when you guys played in the local qualifier, you qualified, but you kind of disqualified yourself to give up your bid so you didn't have to take it and go for Open. So, you guys as a unit and your coach decided to, hey, we're not accepting anything other than going to get this Open bid.
Yeah.
And you guys went and you got it. And I think that was amazing. You know, I think I remember watching some live streams and just seeing some games, and I mean, you guys were just getting after it, and it was awesome. So that I feel like that was a really special team. Probably just not for you guys, but you know, us as fans, just you know, watching the girls from the island. I thought that was amazing. So kudos to you guys in that 16s team. It was really special to watch for sure.
Yeah, it's always so awesome when you doesn't matter what the team is, man. When you can qualify for Open, I mean, there's only a small percentage, right? Top 3 teams, maybe you get some trickle down. So it's quite the accomplishment. So I was super stoked for you guys when I saw that. And did you guys play? You guys played in Florida. Where was Nationals that year? Was that the year it was in Indianapolis?
I believe so. Either Indianapolis or Detroit.
Yeah, I think maybe it was Indianapolis. And then did you guys play in Florida that year too?
No.
No, you didn't. You didn't double up.
No.
Okay, maybe I watched you at in 15s. At 15s, did you go to Florida?
Yeah, I think I went Florida like twice.
Okay.
Sometime. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm confusing my years here. Confusing my years.
So
All
many
right,
trips.
man. What's that?
So many trips I've been on.
Yes, I understand fully. I know, and it's not just club for you, man. Like you did the high performance stuff, and then
Beach.
yeah, you done some beach. So what else? What are we missing? Talk to us about all the places you've been.
No, yeah, it's been basically all just for volleyball, either club, HP, or beach.
I know it's pretty cool that you guys get to travel so much, man.
Yeah.
Such a great experience. So,
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. So when did we know that we were gonna that we wanted to do this thing in college? First grade. You knew right away.
Well, I guess I didn't really think about it when I was like in first grade. I thought it was just for fun and something I'll do as like a thing that I have to do to stay active. But I think once I went to Mauna Loa, Coach Barney really talked to us about like getting emails out to coaches and like starting to have a conversation and look at colleges I want to like go to later on in the future. And I guess from there it started off as like something I wanted to work up to. Yeah.
So I had a chance to work with Coach Barney at the High Performance. He had taken, I think it was a select team, maybe 3 years ago or whatever, and I know that was one of the things that he really emphasized to that team was, you know, we kind of talked to all the teams about recruiting at that time, but I know he made that a real emphasis, a point of emphasis for all those kids that went on that trip. So I think Nene was part of that group, Gino, or?
Yes, she was, Coach.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I definitely appreciate that about him, you know. So
yeah,
he's another one. He's done a lot of good stuff for the community. So I really appreciated having him a part of the Aloha Region program at the time. So.
And fun fact, just kind of being in the process early on where we are now, I just texted him about that trip yesterday and said thanks, because I still remember your recruiting conversation and about the do-it-yourself, you know, as far as the workouts and things, and, you know, and a lot of that resonated with me and our family. So yeah, I would agree with Coach 100%. Not even being in the community that long, I think that it's fair to say Coach Barney's done a lot of stuff. So I definitely appreciate that, and I know you guys, as a little bit older, definitely got a lot of value out of that, because I know we did as well.
I just want to, it's kind of off the track a little bit, but I just wanted to ask you about your HP experience. Like, what was that like? And you don't need to talk about the coaching aspect of it, because obviously I was your coach for that particular trip. But so you know, you don't have to like praise on me or anything. But you know, you want to talk good about me, it's cool. No, I'm just messing. I just want to ask you about your experience, because for me, I felt like it was interesting because it was such a mixed bag when we went. You know, playing in that national division. We had a great team. We went up there, a lot of solid players on that group, and we kind of walked through some of it, and then I felt like we got real. What was it? End of pool play or the semifinals? I felt like we got the, I don't know, the grace of God or something. Something happened over there because we were down by a lot in the 5th set, and then we went into the final. That was actually the match I was worried about the most. I felt like you guys just, I don't know, it was a great performance.
Yeah, it was really fun for me because like I mean it was a little bit different because I had to play with like a brand new team, and like there we had practices, but like some practices I wasn't able to go because like I had other stuff going on, and but yeah, it was something different. But I guess like we're all being from Hawaii and being from like the same island, it brought us like a little bit closer and it made me feel a little bit more comfortable. But I really liked it because like normally for regular club tournaments you'd play, buy, ref, play, but this one was like play one game and then maybe ref and then done for the next day, and then but I think the connection between the girls and us was really strong because that was like one of the most strong powerful teams I ever played with. We had a lot of height and like a lot of good players. And our Coach Lee, he guided us in the right direction and helped us a lot. So it was a good experience for me.
I was autopilot. I didn't have to do anything. You guys did everything. I just said, "There's the court. Go have at it."
Yeah, and I want to emphasize on that team too because again, watching from the outside and being at the tournament and getting to check out some of the games because we were watching my daughter. I you know I hadn't even like at that time I didn't even really know who Kaya was. I knew Asia, I knew you, I knew Tiani, I knew some of the other players. I mean, she had amazing performance, and I feel like it was a great coming out for her, and just seeing like the flexibility that you had to provide also on the team. Playing some defense, playing outside. I mean, and being able to play at that level. I know the other teams are looking across the net, going like, "Well, this 5 foot, nothing is not gonna destroy me." And I mean, it was coming from everywhere. Whether it was you, Kaya, Asia. It was just a solid performance all around. Anaya, it was just amazing. Like the chemistry that I saw you guys have. As I sat there and I watched Coach Lee, Coach JR, kind of do their thing from the sideline. I just thought it was amazing. It was fun to watch. And some of those girls like they really stepped up. All you guys stepped up, but I'm sure nobody looked at the team from the beginning and go, "Oh man, we're gonna have to worry about this Hawaii team."
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned tall, but I think you mentioned Hawaii tall. So I think you guys were undersized just about every game. So kudos to you guys on winning that championship over there. It was definitely amazing to watch.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, that was like such an easygoing team. Like, I felt like everybody was like really mellow and a lot of great experience in that group of athletes, So it was in that sense it was easy. A lot of flexibility too, man. Like from a coaching standpoint, it was like I was joking but not joking about just telling you guys to go. It's like I just say, hey, these are the way the pieces are going to fit, and you guys can make it happen. I get crazy sometimes on serve receive formations and start, flipping things around, and like you guys didn't miss a beat, man. So, so that was a lot of fun for me. I really appreciated that season. So, or that year, I guess. All right, man. So let's talk about your recruiting, since this is why we were supposed to be having this thing. Let's talk a little bit about the recruiting process. Like, when did you start that in earnest? Like, when did you start reaching out?
I started my freshman year. Like I was just like researching a bunch of colleges, and then just like saying like an intro about myself, and like just getting emails out and like some of my highlights out to them just so like they know who I am and I'm on the radar.
Now the recruiting rules were a little different when you were a freshman, right? Like they hadn't
Yeah.
moved into the current um, rules yet, so they could talk to you if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Did you get any responses early on or no?
Um, it was just like a little bit of I guess they try to introduce themselves to me and just like start a little bit of a connection between us.
Right.
But yeah, just started like a little conversation between us.
Right. So, and then when you were reaching out to schools, like how did you start? Like, were you reaching out to Division I schools only, or did you, were you trying to talk to just Division III, Division II, Division I? It didn't matter. You're just talking to schools.
Yeah, I just looked up a whole bunch of schools from all divisions and just try to get it out to like as much as I possibly could.
And then how were you doing that? Like, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear you were doing like the wide net and looking at all the different divisions and opportunities out there. But how did you do your research?
So most of my Coach Barney helped me a lot in the beginning for like different colleges because like Bailey, her daughter, he would like talk to us about like Utah when she was there, and like my mom, she printed out a whole bunch of lists of schools that I could reach out to, and like it kind of started off there as like a checklist. Every weekend I send about like 10 emails to each school and make sure they know like or keep them up to date about myself.
And then, so how did you guys get that list? How did mom get that list? Was it?
I think she just looked up like NCAA and then just printed out like the D1s and then D2s, D3s, and all of that kind of stuff.
Right on. And then when you were emailing schools, like mom printed the lists, you looked at the list, you saw some schools that you wanted to contact or reach out to. Did you was it a deal where you had to go to like the school website to get emails? Like how were you getting the contact information and learning more about the schools?
So I did that on my part. So like I would just look up the school, look up their roster, look if there's like anybody from like Hawaii, like read all like the coaches' descriptions, and then normally they have like their coach's email, phone number, and then all that. So I would probably have to like copy paste it and then put it in my email and then send it out.
Yeah,
Seems like a lot.
Yeah, when you go on that, that's first of all, that's awesome that you were committed to doing it, because that's a lot of work. For the people who are just getting started or who haven't been through that process, man, that's pretty tedious that's awesome that your mom was able to jump on and find a resource where she could get a list of schools. And but then you have to be willing to go in and do the work, man.
Yeah.
So it's awesome, but that's so time consuming to do it that way. So that's awesome to hear that you're putting the work in. So, and then what were you doing with your highlight videos? You said you had highlight videos as a freshman. Yeah. So what was that process like?
So no, it was like a lot of work. So my mom would always record my games and like she would be the one to like edit the like time and position where I am playing, and then I would do the iMovie and put it all together, put the arrows and put it in a certain order. So like normally we first started off doing it as like a combination of hitting and passing, but then like later on like I made like 2 different videos for one just mainly hitting, one mainly passing, but it was like a lot of work.
Yeah, and then so like you were doing the editing.
Yeah.
It wasn't mom.
Well, she was the one recording it and she like cut a little bit, but then I was the one like that fixed it and made it like a little bit better.
I'm just messing with you, man. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys were using some teamwork on that thing. I mean, it should. It requires teamwork on that thing, because just from a student athlete perspective, you guys' schedule is so crazy as it is already. You got school and then, athletics, whether it's school or club volleyball or whatever, so the number of hours that are available are kind of minimal as it is. So parents definitely are ready to jump in and help out as long as you're doing, a good portion of the work, it's definitely good. So was there a learning curve for you on the iMovie?
I mean, I'm pretty good with technology, and it was not that like I just had to like YouTube a bunch of stuff like how to put the arrows in, but then like I'm kind of a fast learner, and I just put it all together, saw how it was, made a little edits and minor corrections, and then I just did the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's awesome, man. I know it's the beauty of Google.
Yep.
Information if you want it. Tell you got to put like little info video together. You got to record yourself doing one of those things, and then give it to your peers and other kids, man. She's like, nope, I'm done.
No more video. If I never see iMovie again.
Awesome. So, and then what were you moving into your sophomore year? Did you change anything with the recruiting process at all, or no? Like it was.
I think that's when I built like stronger connection with coaches, where like we would talk on like a daily basis and like do more phone calls. But yeah, I still kept sending out a bunch of emails and making my highlights.
When did you like really start to narrow down the schools?
I think during that time I was looking, I really wanted to like stay on the West Coast. And then I like once I started like, cause I went to on many trips I went to somewhere on the East Coast. I mean, it was like beautiful schools, but like I didn't think I would feel like I'd be really homesick, because it's so far away, and I didn't think it would fit me well. So I started eliminating schools from the East Coast and like started to look at more schools on the West Coast.
Yeah, no, it's I think it's a challenge because it's such a one distance. I know a lot of athletes from Hawaii, they worry about the distance to the East Coast. I always joke that once you're on a plane for 4 or 5 hours, what's the difference? You go across the rest of the U.S., it doesn't matter. But sometimes it's just mindset, it seems so far away and it would take you so long to get home. And I know family trips get a little more difficult when it's on the East Coast for some of our Hawaii kids. The family, it's not so easy for the families to come visit and watch games and those types of things. Plus just the cultural piece, it's such a different vibe, like in the Northeast, or it doesn't matter where you go, it's just such a different vibe than Hawaii. And it seems like West Coast is a little closer, in culture, but there's still a jump there too. But I feel like we get a lot more kids from Hawaii on the West Coast. So.
Yeah.
But you didn't even go to the West Coast. You ended up not going to the West Coast at all.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Tell us how that went down.
Like, to be honest, I really like at that age I was just at 16, and I like was really stressed about it, and I was like telling my mom, and I was like crying and stuff because like I didn't know, like at 16, how am I supposed to know and plan out my future for like the rest of the next 4 years of my life. And I thought it was like a big step for me, but she told me that like I just need to feel comfortable and feel like it's the right fit for myself. And like I guess when I like think about the mainland and the West Coast, I thought it'd be like a kind of a good fit for me. But like once I started like talking to UH and stuff and getting to know more about the coaches, I thought like maybe staying home would be like a really good fit for me, because like I was still unsure if I still wanted to go to the West Coast, and like being away from home, and like I already know like the coaching staff there was like really good, and I thought like Hawaii was like the perfect fit for me. So I was really excited about that.
Was that on your radar in the beginning? Like, did you consider Hawaii right from the get-go, or no?
No, I didn't. Like a lot of my like my clinic coaches, like Coach Nick and stuff, he was like telling me you should email Coach Robin and UH, and I was like, I'll see. Like I was really iffy about it, because like a lot of players go away for college, and I think like to me, at that time I wanted to like know that experience of living away from home and stuff. But then as like once I was getting to know more college coaches and like the school, I wanted to like I started emailing UH, and I guess it took off from there.
How big of a factor was it that you knew the staff already, that you had played for Coach Rob?
Um, I think it made me feel more comfortable. Like I already played with Coach Robin, and like during combines, I got to like work with Coach Kaleo, and I seen like Coach Angelica in mainland tournaments and got to like talk to her a little bit. So it made me feel more comfortable and feel like more I guess ready in a way of making the decision about going to UH or staying or going away.
Yeah, no, it's a great staff, man.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, all of them have their different strengths, but I feel like they're all pretty down to earth people, and I don't know, they have a way of making you feel comfortable. Coach Robin maybe makes you feel a little more uncomfortable just because of the intensity level.
No, but I like it.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, no, it's a great staff that they have right now. So, I guess they had a great staff for forever, you know.
Yeah, and I want to talk about leading up to that. You know, you're at Maloa, right? I'm sure in your mind you're thinking that's where you're going to play again next year.
Yeah.
And then there's no team. So
Yeah.
walk me through that thought really quick.
So I was like really confident because we did so good last year. We'd think that somebody would coach us again and we would all stay together. But once we found out like we didn't have a coach, it was kind of upsetting and a little bit of like I was sad, I guess, because I really wanted to play with those girls again. But I guess it was like brought up an opportunity for me to like explore a little bit about the different coaches around this island and stuff. But at least I had Kate with me, so it made me feel a little bit more comfortable. And once I got to COA, I really liked the coaching staff and especially the girls. I made like some of the girls I knew from before and I played with them before, so it made me feel more comfortable and like a little bit better.
Yeah, it's a good group, man. I think you had good groups in both of the organizations. You know, for both of your club teams, at that 16s and then the 17s team. I think all the kids are pretty even keel. So, you know, I never worked directly with your old club team, obviously, but just from what I know from the few kids that I've either like I had worked with you before, and I've worked with Kate since, and since that time, and a few of the others have worked with. Alyssa was in that group, right? So I had worked with those kids in some capacity, but not much. But they're all in the same boat, man. They all understand what team is, and I don't know. There's just no drama with those. So it makes it easier, right? Like everybody's just there to get along and make things happen. So yeah, you've been. I don't want to say you've been fortunate, but you know you've been surrounded by good people for quite a while, and that's awesome. When you can get that.
Yeah, coming over to COA, now you're playing. I think you guys got to go to the Triple Crown, right?
Yes.
All right, so you went down to Triple Crown. I imagine that was a great experience. That's like, you know, a great place to go play. Was that your first time playing there, or?
Yeah, that was my first time playing there.
Yeah, how was it playing against that level of competition?
It was a little bit different, but I guess in a like away from being in a new team and stuff, it felt like I guess it felt I guess I felt more comfortable because like the players on my team, like we had a lot of height, like Ella and Nani. Like I didn't have that at Mount Loa, so I felt like more comfortable with big blocks going against big blocks, and it was a great experience. Something I never been there before, and I guess seeing other people play was really cool, and like to observe and watch was like very helpful for me as a player too.
Right, it helps having a pretty big setter too that can throw up her own block and not have to do as much back there in the middle. She could set a little bit of a wall too with Neve, so that's good. All right, awesome. So after that, you guys play well up there, right?
Yeah.
You did a really good job. A lot of Hawaii teams did good. I think
Yeah,
you had
great
you
show.
know, Elena and those guys, Kuakai, with Coach Kainoa, they did a really good job. And then I think Aloha State was up there, and I
Yeah.
think they did fairly well. So shout out to those clubs as well.
Yeah.
Some other clubs. So we get back, and then we hit the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
Everything shuts down. You're not signed, right?
Yeah.
You're not really sure. Tell me about that. What is going on in your mind? Because if we were
Well,
feeling a little stressed before, how are we feeling now?
oh no, yeah. It was really stressful for me because like that when the pandemic all started and stuff, we were on a trip and going to Colorado, and that's when we got stuck because the tournament got canceled and no coaches would be there to watch us play. And so when we got back, it was a little bit harder because I didn't have like a film to like show them, but I had to like I guess come up with different emails for them to still be like kind of interested in me and like kind of talk to them a little bit more and start like doing more phone calls with them so they still remember me and they know how I play and stuff. But it was harder for me, I guess, and really stressful because not being able to play anymore and them watching me was gonna be hard, especially from Hawaii where like we can't go anywhere no more. It was definitely
Okay,
harder.
nice. And at this point, are you still like Googling, emailing the coaches? I mean, like, how's that process for you at this point? It's a little bit easier now. Do you have all those email addresses or what?
Yeah, it was a little bit easier now that like I had like previous conversations with them. I would just look up their email and have it already saved and just talk a little bit more story about that with them and stuff. But yeah, it was still hard though because at that point I still didn't know where I wanted to go or like what like my plans were. So I was kind of stressing about that and like a lot of my friends they already were committing, so I kind of thought like I was left behind and I had to like catch up with them and
Yes. Yeah, unintentional peer pressure, I think.
yeah.
I think a lot of people get in that situation, once the first one or two go, like at first you're like happy. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, good for you guys. And then 5, 6, 7 is happening. You're like, oh, wait a minute. I don't have it.
Yeah.
Did you feel that? Was that?
Yeah, I did. Like for the first one, like you said, I was like so happy for them and excited, but then I was like, oh no, I need to get my stuff together. I need to start more emailing and
Yeah, you're still happier for them, but the pressure is building. Yeah.
yeah, most definitely.
And what were you doing at that time? Like, were you just cycling through the coaches that you had already been in contact, or did you start reaching out to schools that you hadn't been in contact with?
I did a little bit of both. I was trying to like that's when most of the coaches I tried to talk to and like asked if they were recruiting for libero for 2021. Most of them like said that they weren't no more, and then that's when I started panicking even more. So I started looking up different schools and try to like build a new connection with a different coach and stuff.
Yeah, I think you guys are in a challenging situation because the rule changes had happened,
Yeah,
so plus the pandemic had happened. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I always felt like coaches just they knew the rule change was coming, and they started snapping up younger athletes. So
hmm
that meant the number of spots that were going to be less. Not everybody did that, but I feel like that's the way it was. Like I don't know. I felt specifically like because I was trying to help Neve just a little bit with her situation as a setter, and obviously she's super talented, and she could play at a lot of schools, but the options just dwindled so quickly. I felt like for her,
yeah.
so I imagine it was like that for everybody. Yeah. So when did the UH thing happen for you? When did you?
Um, so it just passed like 3 months ago, I think in May, or like towards like June-ish. That's when like I started talking more about UH with my family and stuff, and like I got more um like I got to talk to Coach Angelica and do Zoom calls with them, and it was like something I really thought about and like talked to my mom about. I like asked her questions like, is this like the right fit for me, and like, am I gonna be happy, or like what's going on in my mind. But I was really happy and relieved. Like I felt like I made like the best choice for me, especially like still like undecided about like what I wanted to do and stuff. But I was really happy with my decision.
Awesome. So you said a second ago, maybe I misunderstood what you were saying, but were you asking your mom whether you're asking her opinion about whether it was the right fit for you, or?
Yeah, I like, cause I still wasn't unsure about like how I felt, and I wanted to get like hear from somebody else what about their feedback about like what they thought about me going or like staying home. Cause like a lot of my friends they chose to go away for college, so like I wanted to know like how would they feel if I stayed and stuff.
Mom was pretty involved in the
Yeah,
process. Was dad
she-
involved too, or not as much? Or?
um, it was mainly my mom. Like I talked about it with my dad a little bit, but mainly my mom was there to like
Okay.
talk to me about it.
And was she? So it sounds like that she was pretty much with you throughout the process, right? Like you guys kind of co-op this thing and worked it together.
Yeah, it was very stressful
Yeah.
because we had to like draft a bunch of emails and then do my highlights, and like she would also help me like when I had phone calls. She would like make like we would do like a little scripture skit, and like what kind of questions she would ask me and like how would I respond to them, and like what ways I shouldn't, like what I would say and stuff. So she helped me a lot, and yeah.
Was it stressful working with mom or the parents? Or no,
Well,
it was pretty.
I mean, yeah, for me it was really stressful.
Yeah. I was gonna say because it seems like I don't know your family real well. I mean, I know mom a little bit, and I have met dad when we were up at in Florida at the HP championships. But it seemed like you and mom are pretty tight. So
Yeah.
uh, is that correct?
Yeah, like we're good most of the time, but like when like I get like sometimes I get really frustrated because like I want to say something, but she's like, no, don't say that. You have to say something else. It's just like, oh my goodness. But at the end of the day, it's just whatever's best that works both for both of us. So I'm grateful she helped me throughout this whole process.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I was just gonna ask, like, even though any parent-child relationship is gonna be challenging sometimes, but um, it was worth it to work through all of that with mom.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome, man. What was the biggest challenge you think? Like, give me the plus minus on this thing. Let's start with the challenges. What was the biggest challenge in the process?
I think it's just like really stressful about well, for me personally, knowing like what kind of like what I want to study, what school I want to be at was like really hard for me to decide, because like at such a young age, like how am I supposed to plan out my future when I don't even know like what kind of classes I'm going to take next year for high school, or like it was really hard for me. But it was kind of as like it helped me because it kind of brought me on to like a scale of doing stuff on my own. Like I did a bunch of like research on my own and stuff, and then getting more into like the colleges and like talking with like different colleges. Yeah, it helped me a lot, but at the same time it was like really stressful.
Yeah. No, it's a stressful process, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is.
no question about it. So, but that's awesome, man. I think it's so valuable that when you put in the work, like it's your future and you should be putting in the work. And I know it's like super stressful, but at the end of the day, I feel like it just helps you be a better person too.
Yeah.
You're investing in yourself. It's challenging, but at the end of the day, it's like you can feel good about that.
Yeah.
You landed somewhere you wanted to go, and
Mhm.
you were a major part of that. You didn't rely on someone else to do the work for you. So awesome, Tay. Good job, man. Good job.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Nice. Uh,
Go ahead, Jim.
but I guess I would say too. Aside from using iMovie, were there any like other tools, resources that provided you with any type of stability to help you throughout the process?
So first I started off using Gmail, but then once I came to like COA, you guys introduced like Sports Recruit, and that one really helped me because like I guess it was like a little bit easier for me to like post my videos, send them out, and like they already had like the coach's emails like ready for you to go, and it made it a little bit more easier for myself. I mean, like it. I thought it was very helpful.
Okay.
Yeah, I think just the emails is such a great time saver. I mean,
Yeah.
in your situation is probably a little different, right? Because you had already done a lot of research and you had collected a bunch of emails. But for someone who hasn't done the work, just to be able to go into, hit compose, go in the two line, and then type in a college name, and bam, like
Yeah.
college coaches' emails are there. That's a huge time savings. Did you use it for any like research, or no, not really, because you had already done research on the
Um,
schools?
well, I did it for like a little bit because Sports Recruit tells you like what schools like looked at your highlight videos and stuff, and like there are some colleges I didn't like email at all or stuff, so I kind of like looked into them and then started emailing them, but just like it just brought up new schools that I didn't know before. So that's kind of what the research I did.
How's it feel when you like get a coach to watch your video? Like what?
I felt
How's
like
that feel?
nervous,
Yeah.
but it was like I felt good because like somebody's watching my highlight videos and
Okay.
acknowledging my skills.
Nice. All right. Cool. Any other like resources or tools throughout that process? You have sports recruits. Anything else that kind of helped you out? Where you're talking to other coaches? Did you have anybody that was kind of helping you out to not stress out anymore?
um, well, Sports Recruit was mainly the one thing, but like a lot of my coaches, like you guys and like Coach Barney and Hawaii Prospects, like they would talk to like coaches for me, and like they would get like a little bit of feedback or like a little bit of info on what they're looking at. So that kind of helped me and gave me like a run off of what I wanted, like what I was gonna do next with them and stuff.
It's helpful when you got the village. Yeah. You're not trying to do it all by yourself. I mean, it was awesome that you had mom there and dad some too, and but then to be surrounded by coaches that were going to help you with the process, and then having some quality tools at your disposal makes life a little bit easier.
It does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome, man. Was there anything easy about the process, Tay?
I guess once you build that connection with the coaches, it makes it a little bit more less stressful because like it's kind of nerve wracking that you're emailing your first college coach and like, but like once you start like chatting with them, getting to know them a little bit better, it makes you feel a little bit more comfortable where you're just like just talking story with them and just getting to know each other. I think that was like the little bit easy part.
I wanted to ask about that because you said that you were contacting schools pretty early on, right? Like you were phone calling pretty early. Is that right?
Well, I didn't like a lot of them didn't really answer, so like I just left voicemails and like just told them this is my number. I've been sending you emails, but it mostly started in sophomore year. They started calling, like answering, and they're just having little conversations and stuff.
Did that process get easier or no?
Um, Kinda like I'm not really the type of person to like talk on the phone and like I get little nervous and stuff, but in the beginning it was like kind of nerve wracking, but then once you start like once you have your questions, once you know what you're going to talk about, like you're basically just talking about yourself, it makes it a little bit more easier because you already have that information on you and stuff. So that was like kind of helpful.
I just a couple more things for me, and Gino, if you have anything, man, then I'll be glad to yield. I was gonna ask you if you had any advice for your peers, man. Like, you got anything that you think that would be important to pass along to them?
Well, I think it's very important to like start early, like no matter what grade you are. Just email a bunch of coaches, just getting to know them and introduce yourself, just to put yourself on the radar, and like just constantly doing it almost like every weekend, because it helps because once you know, like, get a feel of the process, it gets a little bit easier on the way when you keep going in the future on the long run and stuff. But I think the only advice would be to start early and continuing to like do your research on your own and stuff.
Coach, you got anything for her?
Yeah, I got a few things. I've been taking some notes here. Um, we talked about you being competitive, right? Talk to me about what that means to you. Uh, Straight up, what's it mean to be competitive?
Um, well, I think it's just having the mentality and the mindset of wanting to win and working together as a team to like come together and fight through, I guess, in a way. And like when it's more competitive for me, it's more fun for me because like when you're always like ready and not expecting a type of ball, it's I mean it might be a little bit stressful, but it puts you in like a stressful situation. But I think it's like for me, it's really fun and something I really enjoy because it only makes me better as a player and as a team.
Who was your biggest influence? It could be anybody, coach, player, mom, whatever. Um,
I think my biggest influence is probably Coach Robin and like a few of the UH coaches from like years before, like Ali Longo or like Savannah Kahita, or her last name. Like I think that's her last name, but
yeah,
but yeah, they're like them as liberos and seeing them like take charge of the back row was really like something like put myself where I want to be in the future and something yeah, I guess so.
So
no, I think everybody watching this video will know who you're talking about when you say Savannah.
you work with, so was that in camp that you worked with her, or was that just you watching her, or what was interacting?
No, it was just me watching her. Like I used to go a lot to the UH games and like I would watch like it on TV with my family and stuff, and it was something like she just caught my attention and I was like I want to be like you one day.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
she's awesome, man. Like, and so I had the good fortune of working with Savannah for a little while, and she's kind of in the same boat as you. Like, she's an outside that is going to play libero at the next level. But she had you guys are similar in some ways. Like she had both of you have great command of the ball. I think like both of you guys have great vision, and you know how to work different areas of the court. But so that's the offensive side of the ball. Savannah she may have hit with a little more tempo, Tay. She may have hit with a little more tempo, but you guys had a lot of similarities. But like the serve receive, you guys are so similar in terms of your serve receive. Your range is so good, and your ability to work angles and control the ball is solid. So there's a lot of similarities between the two of you, man, and that's coming from somebody who's coached both athletes. So that's someone that's worth looking up to.
Thank you.
She's
Yeah,
solid, man.
definitely a beast.
Yeah.
All right, and then last three, and then I'm good. So right now, like out of all your coaches, I mean, Coach Robin was an influence. Who'd you say was your favorite coach to play for? If it's her, that's fine too.
Mm, well, I don't really have a favorite. Like I looked up
Okay,
to them like all equally. They all
okay,
gave me like really good feedback and information that really helped me grow as a player. So I think like I don't have a favorite, but they all contributed in a way to make me where I am right now, and it just helped me a lot.
okay. And then we might have answered this already. Who was your favorite college player to kind of watch growing up? I feel like we kind of answered this
Yeah.
in a way.
I would like to say Ali Longo, but I like
Okay,
I like a bunch. Like mainly I just watched like UH and like
okay,
the past years and stuff. But like yeah, they had really good strong teams. Oh, and one of my other favorites is Bailey Choi.
nice. Okay, all right, awesome. That's good. It was definitely fun watching Bailey, out at Utah and then coming back home and getting to see her in
Hmm.
person. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because I had heard a lot about her before I got into the game, so to speak. But seeing her in person, that was cool. That was fun to watch. A lot of those guys. And then all right, a little bit on the spot. Next up, who's the next up libero on the island? Tell me, give me a couple names of some liberos to watch or some DSs to watch in the upcoming years.
For one, I can say Zoe Slaughter.
All right.
She has grown such as a player, like because I play for beach with her and for school, and like she's been growing a lot in the past years. I can say Zoe, and does it have to be a libero or it can just be any player?
I was gonna start with libero first, but go ahead, give me a couple names. Any shout outs you want to give to any younger players? I think that'd be great. I think that'd be phenomenal.
I think Jackie Matias. She's doing so great because I play beach with her too, and I played her against for club. But yeah, she's an amazing player, and I think she's gonna go far.
Okay, awesome. All right, that's good. It doesn't have to be a lot. I'm good with those. That's awesome. Those are both two solid kids. I really enjoy watching Jackie play. I think she's a great setter. Obviously, she's got some tough coaching over there, Coach Louise. So he's a very demanding coach. So I know that she benefits from that, and she's a very hardworking player. Same for Zoe. Very very hardworking individual. I think Zoe's. I would like to say she's grown a lot too. I think she's found that more of a love for indoor is equally as beach. I think before it was kind of a little bit lopsided where she enjoyed the beach more than the indoor. So it's good to see her out there playing at the level she's got to go play at with, Kauai and things like that. So very talented, youth coming up behind you. So I appreciate your insight on the next up. So good stuff. Nice. Coach, I think I'm good. If you got anything else?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, what are you looking forward to the most about the next level, man?
Especially that I'm playing at UH. I think the crowd would be something really cool to experience. Like I had a little bit of taste of it my last year and junior year at the OIA finals, the championship. We played against Mililani, and a bunch of like family football players were there, and like the whole gym was crowded and stuff. But I think playing in front of a bunch of fans, especially that I'm from Hawaii, would be something special. And I think just being with a whole different team from everywhere on the island and in the US and even international, it would be like a really good experience to like meet new players and just get to know like Coach Robin even more and just become like a better player as myself.
Awesome, man. So you anxious or you like ready to go? You ready to jump in both feet?
Yeah, but I'm kind of like nervous, but I'm really excited.
That's awesome, man. There's not many programs that pull off the type of support that UH does. So I gotta imagine that's gonna be an amazing feeling to get in there and play in front of a home crowd.
Yeah.
So and they're so supportive, man. The UH fan base is so supportive of the players. So I don't know, man. It seems like a great choice for any local player that wants to stay home or has the opportunity to stay home, So I know there's some plus minus to the stay home stuff. Like it's good to go out and experience something different, but in selfish terms, just in athletic standpoint, like it would be pretty amazing to play UH. So that's awesome, man. I'm really looking forward to watching you contribute, and I have no doubt that you are. So I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Anything else to add? Are you good?
I'm all good.
Yeah.